Hello everybody, my name is TaurusLehane and welcome to Dead by Daylight. I am currently playing the Trapper. Let's see how this goes. Of course, we're on this gen immediately. Shocking. I'm actually not gonna chase her because I'm setting up. As a Trapper, that's just something you have to do, unless of course you're running the add-on, the iridescent, that makes it so that they reset themselves every 30 seconds, which is one of my favorite add-ons, but I do not have it right now. So anybody I do come in contact with, I do want to hit them, but I don't want to really engage with a long chase with them, just so I can have time to set up. Now, if they start undoing my traps before I finally, set all of them up, which is highly likely, because they love to do that. They love to irritate me and make my life miserable, just like I like to make theirs. Then I will just go ahead and start chasing, regardless of how many I have set or not, because if I'm being completely honest with you, there's not a lot of times where I actually need the traps. They are nice, of course. They make things a little easier, a little more. Yep. Okay, so they started to undo my traps already, and so we'll just go ahead and be an M1er. So sometimes what I like to do, so it's not completely incredibly boring for me, is I like to earn resetting my traps. So essentially what that means is that I will basically go after somebody until I will go after people until I get a hook. And then after I get a hook, then I will reset a trap. So right now I'm gonna get this Yunjin Lee on a hook, and it doesn't really matter which one. This is all about happenstance. So she's on a hook, so I'll find a trap that needs to be reset, and I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll go back to that generator and I'll break it. So this way it's kind of like, I'm not focusing 100% on resetting traps, but also I'm doing other things that I need to do to make the game good for me. That's a shame, but I did get a hook before a gen got done, so I feel like that's good luck. And we'll see how that actually plays out. Sometimes it does work out that way, and sometimes it doesn't, Nice. Such unpredictable pathing. I never would have guessed that. Okay. So we put her up. And then instead of engaging with the chase with Michaela immediately, we're just going to go over here and reset this, which is good because this is right next to this generator, and I need to obviously destroy the generator. Hex headphones. I'm not interested in... Oh, okay. I was going to say I'm not interested in tunneling right now at 4 generators. That's really cringe. So I'm really happy that Nea decided to interfere, because that gives me a leg up, if you will. She's going to come through here, I'm assuming. Oops, she was going to, but she hesitated, which is very smart of her. So we're just going to go around and... Okay. Usually that's something that I hit, so she must live down the street from me. She's going to vault. Yeah. Okay. She really knows... how to run this area. So what I need to do is I need her... Okay. I was gonna say I really need to get rid of this pallet. So she's like, she's doing stuff that I want her to do. And now she disappeared. She did a magic trick. Did she go in the locker? Okay. I mean, honestly, if she did, I would have expected head on. I have no idea where she went. I'm not really sure what perk that was, since I know that there are perks that like where your scratch marks and stuff disappear, but I thought that was after you stun the killer. She did not stun me, so I'm not really sure what happened there at all. Maybe it was some kind of like healing something or other. I don't know. Again, I need this Michaela to use this palette, because otherwise we're just gonna go around and around and around. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Now I know I'm carrying 2 traps, but I've been kind of trying to figure out a way for years for me, like when would be a good time to use it and not. And I think what I decided is that usually what I like to do with these traps that I have in my hand is I usually like to save 1 for the shock palette. And then, okay, this one disappeared as well. That's lovely for me. Thank you so much, Behavior. Really appreciate it. I'd like to save 1 of them for the shock generator. You could have taken a hit, Michaela, but of course, I guess that's too much effort. Pretty. You don't want to sabotage? I guess I'll just hit you. It's all right. And I'll do it again, just in case she wiggles out. A lot of times the killer can hit a survivor twice, and that's something that's important to remember, I think. You can hit a survivor twice, and then you can cool down and be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. But of course, obviously, it's all about distance, and it's about, you know, how much more you have to walk and all other kind of stuff. Obviously, having saved the best for last helps a great bit. So actually put up 2 people, which means that I can reset 2 traps, and it doesn't matter. Okay, of course. I still don't want to tunnel at 3 generators. I like to usually wait till there's only 2 left, because then the game is no longer in my favor and I have to do what I have to do to get the job done. As a killer main, I always think it's super horribly cringe when I see other killers, whether they're mains or not doesn't really matter, but when I see other killers camping, tunneling, slugging at less than 2 generators, I just think that's ridiculous. Or more, I'm sorry, more than 2 generators. I think that's absolutely ridiculous, and that's why so many people dislike killer mains. Okay, so again, this is another situation where I really need her to use the palette, and if she doesn't use the palette, then we're just gonna be here forever and a day. Actually, never mind, because safe by the trap. And actually, it kind of saves my sanity as well, because I really hate it when I come across a survivor that knows how to run a tile. And of course, I do. I mean, that would make sense. No killer wants to stay at a tile for, you know, minutes at a time, especially when the game is not really in their favor at the moment. So I really need her to throw this, and then hopefully go back to... Okay, she's an expert at knowing where the traps are, but maybe she didn't. Maybe she just ran it tight on purpose. That's what he said. She's either second hook or dead. I'm not really sure which one. GG's. Nice. Okay, there's 2 gens left. There's 2 deaths. This is actually going really nicely for me. The game is still not in my favor. I can't really get the game back in my favor unless there was some kind of perk that would get a gen uncompleted, but that's not a thing, and I don't think that will ever be a thing. People have actually mentioned that before over the years, and honestly, I'm really happy that Behavior has never implemented anything like that. I think that's ridiculous. You know, if we have a perk in the game for killer that makes it so that they can undo a generator that's already been done, I just think like that goes against everything the game kind of stands for, but at the same time it doesn't, because lore wise it would make sense that the entity would want the game back in its I don't know, like it's zombie, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. I do know the lore, but there's a better word that I could use for it. I just can't think of what it is right now. Because basically all the killers are kind of like puppets for the entity in a way, and really the survivors are too, but I mean more so I would say the killers are definitely a bigger part of the game, not just the game as a game, but also the game as in the lore of the game. Like there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of language happening right now. Okay, and she's gonna try to abuse this again, of course. By the way, when I say the word abuse in regards to like a tile, I'm mostly referring to the fact that we're gonna be here probably for the next you know, anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds, depending on how fast they want to use the pallet. And most survivors are not going to leave a tile until the pallet is gone. The problem here, of course, is that there's a pallet here and then there's a pallet across the way. This window is no longer usable. I don't know if she knows that yet, but she's going to try to use this pallet. I'm going to get her beforehand, which is fantastic, because otherwise what was going to happen is she was going to throw the pallet, I was going to get stunned, and then she would just go back to this pallet after I broke the pallet over here on this tile. So it's good that she's getting put on the hook now. And I really wish I had barbecue and chili right now to tell me where to go to get the Michaela, because right now I have a choice. I can either go try to find Michaela, who's probably gonna get Nea off of the hook, or I could camp the hook and hope that I find out where Michaela is before Nea has the ability to jump off the hook. But because I'm not a scuzz bucket, I'm actually going to leave. I'm going to take a risk and leave, and maybe I can see Michaela, maybe I won't see Michaela. Maybe Nea will get saved, maybe she won't. It just kind of depends. I'm going to make my way up here so that I can see literally everything. And then this way, this is kind of scuzzy, of course, but this isn't a direct camp. So I do see her over there. I'm not going to get to her on time, but it's okay. Honestly, it's totally fine. The glass half full is that we continue to play and I can get more points this way. She thinks that I want to tunnel Nea, and I wouldn't mind tunneling Nea, but I'm only gonna tunnel Nea if she's really gonna like be in my face and be irritating like she is right now. But she's not really in my face. I don't know where Michaela went, but I'm assuming that she might be over here. She might be hanging out with her bestie. Oh, yep, she is. I know Nea's around here somewhere, but the question is Michaela a better runner than Nea? No, she's not. Thank you for answering that question so quickly, because if she was, she would not have thrown that when she did. And for some reason, Nea is going to be like, oh, I'm just going to do this generator in your face. I really want your attention, bruh. But I'm not going to give her my attention because that's what she wants. Too many killers would take the bait and go for it and then leave Michaela, and Michaela gets to go scot-free. But I'm not going to do that, because as the meme goes, I'm just built different. I can't remember if we got rid of that pallet or not, but if not, she's gonna come right back to this pallet. Okay, she didn't come back to this pallet, but she definitely was maybe toying around with the idea of playing with that pallet. So I'm gonna chase her this way. We're gonna go ahead and slug her probably, just because she's been really irritating. And because I really want the Michaela. I'm not doing this to get the 4K, I'm doing this to get Michaela. So if Nea is prepared in the way that I'm expecting her to be, she should have a perk that will get her up off the ground. And of course we have a baby back bitch in red, because she just thinks that she's the best thing since sliced white bread, and is very upset that she's getting her very first hook at 2 generators. She's ran a good game, but apparently she thinks she's ran a better game than she actually did. So let's go ahead and get Nea now, who's also probably a baby back bitch, and I expect they'll either DC or they'll at least throw a fit in the end game, which is kind of good because I don't really get a lot of comments in the end game, it feels like, when I do these YouTube videos. So I would actually be very curious. Now I'm putting this down only because it's going to give me more points. I don't really care about putting it down and getting her. It doesn't really matter to me. I just didn't use any of these. So this is going to be a GG, and that's awesome for me. Trapper is also considered one of the worst killers in the game, so I think it's pretty embarrassing to die to him, especially when you don't play like if it wasn't me and I was a sweaty try-hard fringe lord, I could have camped, tunneled, slugged, and yes, I did slug at the end, but I'm just saying, you know, very, very interesting to say the least. So we did get a little bit in the chat, but not really that much. GG, good luck, have fun in all your future games. All right, so that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. You can catch me live on Twitch on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, starting at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern, and 9 a.m. Pacific. You can also find me on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X. Everything will be linked below down in the description if you wish to follow me, and I would love it if you did. I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.